So I really wasn't sure whether or not I was actually going to make this video. I kind of went back and forth with it for a while, but we decided it was the right thing to do to share this experience. Not only because you know I've been doing this for a long time now, so the community that's been with me all this time has been with me through many different ups and downs and changes and all that stuff. Apologies to ahead of time if this video is all over the place, because it's kind of just a stream of thought. It's also going to be a pretty heavy video, so if you're not in the right mind space to listen to some pretty heavy shit, then feel free to come back later. So let me I guess I'll lay the groundwork a little bit. So sometime around now, maybe in the next like week or so, we and when I say we, I mean myself and Michelle. Some of you know, probably a lot of you know, we've been together for well over a decade. She's been with me through every like I said earlier, just like you guys, every up and down throughout the road. We were getting ready to announce that there was a little baby danger on the way, that it was planned, and we were really really excited about it. There's not like there's nothing that really prepares you for that realization. Like when we saw that first positive pregnancy test, I don't know what changed in me, or just like a light kind of flipped, like a light switch kind of flipped, where I was like, I'm gonna fucking do this, and I'm gonna be a badass dad, and my kid's gonna be the shit. And like I'm gonna just leave a leave something, whatever. We were very excited. We didn't really tell anybody, just our very 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 close friends and family. I forget after how many weeks, it was like maybe 8 or 9, something like that, so about 2 months, we went to the first ultrasound. They take pictures of the baby and everything, and we heard the heartbeat. And that was like a day that I'm never gonna forget for the rest of my life. And everything was good. Everything was really good. We were relieved to have such a positive report. And then last week on my birthday, we had scheduled another ultrasound, specifically just because our family was going to be in town. So I know some of them really wanted to experience that, especially with Michelle, being in there, getting to see the baby, whatever. We go to the place, I don't know, the place that they do the ultrasound at, and you can kind of tell she's like having trouble finding it, because it should have been by that point a lot bigger than it had been. And I can just tell by the look on her face that like something was wrong, like something was fucked up. So Michelle was just like squeezing my hand, and we were just trying to hope that everything was fine. And she's like, you guys should go to see like a actual, like, go to the hospital basically. So because she said like I can't really, because it wasn't like it's hard to explain. It wasn't like a doctor, it wasn't like a doctor's office. Like, it's a woman who specializes in ultras, they have just like little shops. I don't want to call it a shop. It's not, whatever the fuck it is. So she couldn't really like make a full medical diagnosis. She's like, but I searched for a while and I didn't find a heartbeat. Long story short, we go to the hospital, wait there. They see Michelle, they check her out, and they basically confirm that there was no heartbeat, and the baby didn't make it. I've done a lot of painful things in my life, landed on various parts of my body that have hurt. This was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. It was just so, I felt like someone just like stole something from me. Like I was angry. I was like, it fucking sucked. And even sitting here talking about it, I'm even like, I can't believe that I'm actually like openly talking about it like this, because generally when it comes to like personal stuff, I'm a pretty, I like to keep things pretty close to the chest. But since that day, the amount of people who we talked to who said, "Oh man, yeah, we had a miscarriage before our first baby. We had 2 miscarriages in between babies." The lady at the place is like, "Oh yeah, about 1 in 3 pregnancies miscarry." And we were like, "Okay, lady, like that's a pretty crazy number." And I apologize, because she might have been right. Friends, family members I haven't talked to in a while, all like telling me these stories, and it was, nothing helps, right? Like nothing, like no amount of oh, I'm so sorry, like and I appreciate obviously everybody that has said that, and so many people, since we did post it on social media a couple days ago, so many people have reached out and just said like, just beautiful messages, honestly, that I really, really appreciated. But the realization of like, holy shit, okay, so we didn't feel as alone and like lost as we did when it initially happened. There's not really, there's no instructions on how to handle something like that, so everybody obviously would handle it differently. My usual way of handling that would have been to just shut down, just kind of stay in, and to be honest, and I did for a little bit. I kind of had to, but then the more people I talked to, the more people who shared their stories with me, like I said, it made us feel less alone. So that's the main reason that I'm talking about this, because there might be, someone watching this who is going through it themselves, or has gone through it, or knows somebody who goes through it. And given the data that we've gotten recently, it definitely seems like it's a lot of people. And it's a very, very difficult thing to go through, because looking at it from the outside, if I had said this maybe like 6 months ago, not to sound insensitive, but like, someone has a miscarriage a couple months in, I would think that the reaction to it would obviously be, sadness, because no one fucking wants that. It's terrible. But it would be like, okay, like that sucks. We're gonna try again and blah blah. But like, from the second you get that positive pregnancy test, like that's my kid. You know what I mean? That was the hardest fucking thing, is because and maybe you know, it was my fault for getting as attached to it as I was getting. Um, but either way, you know, they're coming one way or another. They're coming. It just unfortunately was not this time. Um, but there will be a baby danger, and they're going to be a menace to society. And you know, all the plans that I've made these last couple months, and all the things I was looking forward to, I'm still gonna do those. And I'm trying to remind myself of that. That all these plans and all these things I had in my head of how, you know, who I wanted to be as a dad, and who, and like how things were gonna go going forward. And I had a really really good grasp on that for the first time in my life. Because up until now, up until it happened, up until like we actually were making a baby, you know, I was terrified of being a dad. And you know, it's always something that like I'm like, yeah, I'll be a dad. I'll be a dad at some point. At some point, you know, kind of just trying to push it off and like not really prioritize it. But then like when it happened is when I realized like how much of a priority that it actually is, and how much it really does mean to me, especially since my relationship with my dad was not good. Um, so it's important for me to not repeat that. Uh, just just a brutal fucking week. Um, Today's probably the first day that I'm able to actually talk about it and not, you know, not just kind of lose it. Um, some days are better than others. Some days I'll go for, you know, a couple hours. I'm fine. I'm doing whatever, and then just it just hits you. You're like, and I'm just depressed and like sad for certain parts of the day. Um, so we're gonna get through it. We have we have a incredible support system between our family and, you know, our close friends and stuff. So I'm very grateful for that. And like I said, a lot of you guys that probably are watching this might have already seen the messages on social media, might have already reached out. So if you have, I greatly appreciate it. I legit read every message, um, and it meant a lot. So we really appreciate that. And it's it's like now, so it's now I need to kind of hone in and focus in and transition my brain back into, you know, go mode, which is hard during a time like this. But I was, oh man, I don't want to go too much into it, but like I have a lot. I made a lot of plans for a lot of the stuff that I wanted to change. You know, it's kind of like we saw the positive test, and then I was like, okay, it's I got to get my shit together. You know, so I'm making plans and set up all these things and everything, and now like everything just kind of came to a halt. But um, there's gonna be some changes going forward, like in my life, obviously, um, in content, in it's really hard. It's like really hard to pinpoint it, but I feel very differently about a lot of things just in the past couple months. These past couple months have very much changed me. And not necessarily, not in like, not in a bad way. But I feel like with everything that's been going on, it like, you have those moments where it's kind of like, okay, my life is now moving into a new, not even a new direction, but now you're in a new era, right? For this period of time, this is what I was doing every day, and this is how I was acting. For this period of time, this is what my life was about. So I feel like that's the switch that I'm in right now. So going forward, things might look a little different, things might feel a little different, but I need to find a new I don't think of the word I'm looking for. I need to find a new way to express myself creatively. Obviously we have the wrestling shit, and I'm not talking about any of that, and none of that has anything to do with any of this. However, I do have a very big match that I need to make sure I'm mentally prepared for, and I am mentally prepared for what we got coming up. But all I ask is that, be patient with me if you can. There might be some experimentations. There might be some start stops. But I feel like I kind of have an opportunity to just do better and do more and do things that are more important to me or more fulfilling to me. And I just hope that, I hope you guys are gonna continue to stay on board. If you don't, I completely understand. You're lost. But I'm kidding. Yeah, so that's basically what's been going on. As I'm sure you saw that I was a little inconsistent here for a bit, haven't posted much in a while. But like I said earlier, I greatly appreciate everybody that's already reached out. If you have a similar story and you feel like, talking about it in the comments or something, or that's, feel free to do so. I know it's not easy being on the internet and putting your business out there, but when you have a community like I do, which I busted my ass for this community, so like, don't worry about what's, if you're not in this community, don't worry about what's going on over here. This is for, the people who have been, and the people who will be part of it. Thank you guys for your support. I've been able to comfortably do this for well over a decade and continue to do so because of the support of you guys. And when it does come time for Baby Danger to grace the world, there's going to be not even a neighbor. There's going to be a city, a state, a country ready to ride with them. And that rules. So thank you guys. Love y'all. Sorry for rambling, but now we're on the same page. So we move forward from here, and I hope you guys move forward with me. I'll see you later.